Hi, my name is Tonya and welcome to Create with Tonya. I'm so happy that you can join me for this craft today. And what I have for you today is 3 advent calendars. I decided to do an advent calendar with just gift boxes that you can just buy at the store, and they're just like $1.25, I think, for a pack of 10. So I thought that I would make these gift boxes and inspire you a little bit with some ideas, because I know some of us were looking for those Dollarama cute little wooden boxes and they were all sold out. So I thought I would bring to you a little DIY with gift boxes, and then the 2 of them are with gift boxes and 1 of them is boxes that you would make yourself. So it's a little bit more challenging but not hard at all, and if I can do it, so can you. I love advent calendars. My kids love advent calendars because they love to see what little surprises that I put in there. So I thought I would show you what I create. If you're up for the challenge, I really love how it turned out. And if you want to see how I did it, just keep watching. Welcome back, guys. So the first advent calendar that we're going to be working on is a circular one with the gift boxes inspired by the Lazy Susan. Unfortunately, the beginning footage for this particular calendar got deleted, so I do apologize. But I'll be telling you all that you will need for this project: a Lazy Susan, foam board, ribbon, rhinestones if you want to recreate what I have there, gift boxes, 3 of them because there are 10 in a pack, and we're going to need 24 boxes, and they run for like $1.25 at Dollarama. You're going to need an ornament topper, and right here I am attaching my rhinestone, and I had to cut it in 2 pieces because there's a lip on the Lazy Susan just so that it fits flush. And here's the look at the Lazy Susan in all her glam and her sparkle. I love how it turned out, guys. I'll be using 3 different color gift boxes for this advent calendar. They're very easy to assemble. You just open them and push on the bottom and voila. Now we're going to start arranging our gift boxes onto the Lazy Susan, and you're going to put your gift boxes right to the edge, making sure that your lid is to the side. You don't want to place it flat down on your Lazy Susan with the lid facing up, because then when you glue the other boxes down, it wouldn't open. Just a tip, these gift boxes tend to want to pop open, so you can add hot glue to stop them from popping back open. We're going to start with 8 gift boxes on the first level, and once I'm satisfied with the arrangement, we're going to go ahead and glue them down. We're going to start by gluing the back sides of the boxes together, starting with 2 boxes at a time, and then we're going to glue the bottom of the boxes and attach them to the Lazy Susan. This next level is going to be 7 boxes, and I'm just arranging them how I want them before I stick them to the first level of boxes, and making sure that your opening is on the right side. Okay, so next you're going to make sure that you line them up correctly. You're going to off center them, meaning that you're not going to put a box on top of each other like that. You're going to put it just like this. I'm going to go ahead and glue 2 boxes together just like in the first level. Before gluing the first 2 boxes down, we're going to go ahead and glue the other 2 boxes, and we are going to keep gluing the boxes together before attaching them to the first layer, because this would give us opportunity to adjust our boxes, making sure they're off-centered in just the right places before we attach them to that first layer. Once we're pleased with how that second layer look, we can go ahead and attach them to the first layer. The next layer is going to be 5 boxes, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to arrange them how you want them, glue the sides together first before attaching them to your second level. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be back. Our fourth level is going to be 3 boxes, and you're going to attach them in the same manner you did the other levels. Our final level is going to be 1 box, and I glue that down by putting glue in the 4 corners of the box. So I'll do that and I'll be right back. I'm going to add our star topper, and then we'll take a look at how it all turned out. We're at the second calendar and the easiest one of the bunch. And you're going to need a gift bag, those gift boxes, foam board, and whatever decorations you want to put inside of your calendar. Next, you're going to cut out your gift bag and glue it onto your foam board. Next, you're going to arrange your boxes just how you want them before you glue them down. And you're going to take note of how you want the flaps to open. I'm gluing my boxes down, and I'm putting glue on the bottom and the sides where the boxes are touching each other. And please take note of where your flap open. I place mine opening to the sides. Also on that bottom row, I place them opening to the side, because inside where the gift bag is, that's where we're going to be putting our little decorations to decorate our advent calendar. So I have all my boxes glued down, and I want to kind of add like a indoor scene to my calendar. So I'm going to add some windows, Christmas tree. I'm going to add a fireplace and just some little cute decorations. So I'll keep doing that and I'll be back. We're back, and I have my windows all finished. I made them out of those coffee stir sticks that you get from the Dollar Tree, and now I am painting them white with acrylic paint. My windows are all painted, and now I'm going to cut off the excess foam board from our calendar. So I will do that and I'll be right back. Now I'm finishing decorate the inside of the advent calendar. I added wreaths to the 2 windows, and I'm just decorating the wreaths with bows and little berries. And you can decorate inside your box however you like. This is just how I chose to decorate inside my box. Now I am adding ribbon around our advent calendar just to hide up those rough edges that we cut from our foam board. We're back, and I went ahead and decorated my box. So we're back, and I've added my lights to the holes, and now I'm adding a little bit of glue to the bulbs so that they stay in place. And now let's take a look at how it all turned out. Calendar number 3, and you're going to need foam board and about 7 to 8 cardstock. You're going to need an assortment of stickers to decorate your boxes with, an assortment of decorations for the top. I did not end up using these, but you'll see what I did in the end. You're going to need some decorative paper or gift wrap paper to decorate the front of your boxes. You're going to need an assortment of ribbons to decorate your boxes with. This is the glue that I use to stick my boxes together. You can also use hot glue, but I found this glue from the Dollar Tree worked really well. I'm going to be using this snow drape at the top of the calendar to give it a snow effect. And now the inspiration for this calendar, the Lazy Susan. I knew I wanted to make a advent calendar with the Lazy Susan, and so I went to Pinterest to see if anybody had done anything like it, and I found this lady that she made something similar to what I'm making, but I made mine a little bit different. So she was also an inspiration for this video. First, you're going to cut out the foundation circle for our Lazy Susan. So you're just going to trace around the Lazy Susan to get that first foundation. And you're going to need a second circle out of the foam board. And I made the mistake of cutting out both of them right now, but you don't want to do that. You want to wait till your advent calendar is completed, and then you're going to flip that over and you're going to trace around those castings to get the perfect circle. Next, you're going to go ahead and cut out that one circle. Remember, not both of them. You're going to cut out that one circle, and we'll be right back. Next, you're going to grab your card stock, and you are going to use the Lazy Susan and trace 3 circles out. Next, you want to go ahead and cut those circles out, and I'll do that, and I'll be right back. Next, you're going to take your circle and you're going to fold it in half, making sure your edges meet because we want to be pretty accurate for this project. So you're going to make sure that all your edges meet, and then you're going to make a nice crease. Once you have a nice fold, you're going to take your ruler and draw a line right down that fold. Next, you're going to fold it in half the opposite direction, making sure that those 2 lines meet. Then you're just going to fold and crease your line. You're going to take your ruler and draw another line down that fold. Now we're going to work on our third fold. We have 4 triangles and we need to make 8. So you're going to turn that where you have an X in front of you, and then you're going to fold it over. And the important thing here is to make sure that your lines connect again. So you're going to connect those first 2 lines and make a crease, turn it around, connect the second 2 lines and make a crease. Take your ruler and then draw that third line down the middle. Now we're working on our final fold, so fold that in half again. making sure that your lines match up very well. Crease it, turn it around, make sure those lines match up, crease it, and then we're going to make our line with our ruler. And now you should have equal triangles. Here are the measurements for our castings and our draws. Now that our foundation circles are done, we're going to work on our castings, making our castings. So I've already drawn out my patterns, and a cardstock holds about 6 of them. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut them out. So we're going to need 24 castings for this project because we're making 24 boxes for our advent calendar. I have all of mine here cut out and ready to go. So now I'm going to show you how to put it together. So now you're going to want to take your ruler and you're going to make a score onto each of those lines there. So you're going to fold it over and simply make a crease, and you're going to do that on all of the lines. When you're done, you should have something that looks like this. I went ahead and scored all our castings, and now we are going to get ready to glue them together, and I'm using this craft glue from the Dollar Tree. You're going to put a little bit of glue on that first flap there, and we're basically going to glue it shut. You did all the hard work before when we scored it, so it's going to be pretty easy to fold that over, and you're going to want to make sure that all your edges meet right down to the fold, just so that our castings can be accurate. Now you're going to want to go ahead and do that to the rest of your boxes, and I'll meet you right back. So now we're working on our draws. I am drawing out my pattern so that I can go ahead and cut that out. I'm gonna go ahead and cut that out. And take note of all the little pieces that I'm cutting out. So not everywhere that we drew we're gonna cut out. We're just gonna make slits on those ends, and then in the middle there you're gonna make slits so that our boxes can fold correctly. Then you're going to go ahead and score those pieces to mark out our triangles, and you're going to score the other side, and then you're going to go ahead and score all those places that we drew on our boxes. And I'm just scoring all the little slits that we made so that our box can fold easily. Next, we're going to go ahead and glue our box together. So you're going to glue it just like this. I find gluing the top was the easiest way to do it. Then you're going to work on gluing the bottom, making sure that those edges fit right in the corner so your boxes can be relatively the same size. And if it's not exactly the same size, it wouldn't hurt it much because a couple of mine weren't the same size. So just go ahead and glue all those little flaps shut, and you are almost ready with your first box. I am drawing little rectangles out to cover the front of our boxes, and these rectangles are 3.5 inches by 4.5 inches. And you will need to cut out 24 of these out of your cardstock to cover the front of your boxes. And yes, you need the cardstock to cover the front of your boxes before using the decorative paper because it will give your boxes more stability. Next, you're going to go ahead and fold that in half. Then you're going to take that rectangle you cut out and you're going to attach it to the front of your box. And my cardstock is a little bit too long, so I'm just cutting that off there. And you can make any adjustments because It might not be perfect, but that's okay. I went ahead and cut out my decorative fabric there with the same measurements as the cardstock, and now I'm going to glue that to the front of my box. I have my Lazy Susan here. It has already been decorated from my previous DIY. You're going to take the cardstock that we divided earlier into equal parts and you are going to stick it onto the Lazy Susan. Next, we're going to take our casting and we are going to glue that down within our triangle, making sure that we stay pretty accurate within the triangle. Next, you're going to take your second casting and you're going to place glue on the bottom of your triangle and along the side of your first casting, and you're going to stick those together, making sure you line them up well. I'm going to finish this first layer and I'll be right back. My first layer is completed and I'm going to start on the second layer. And for the second layer, you're going to want to make sure that the triangles are lined up in the middle of the first casting and not directly above the first casting, if that makes sense. And then you're going to start sticking on your casting in the same manner, lining up the triangles. And the reason we're using the second cardstock is so that you can line them up accurately. Make sure your casting on the second level is lined up like this. We're back and our second level is completed. Now you're going to take another cardstock that's equally divided and you're going to line it up the same way you lined up the last one in the last level. And you're going to want to adjust that cardstock triangle to make sure it's in line with your first layer of seam there. Once you're happy with your placement, you're going to glue that cardstock down to your second level of castings. Now we're going to start our third level and we are going to attach the casting in the same manner as we did the first and second level, and you are going to line it up in the middle like you did the second level. Our last level of castings are now completed and we are going to glue that second cardstock that we cut out earlier onto the top. So if you notice in that last clip that I left in, my foam board was a little bit too small, so I had to go ahead and cut out a second piece, and it was too small because I cut that to the Lazy Susan, and you don't want to do that. You want to turn your you want to flip your advent calendar upside down, and you want to trace the top of your advent calendar onto the foam board and then cut it out, and that way you would have the right size that sits flush with your castings. And now I am embellishing the raw edge of that foam board with some more of my rhinestones. So I'll complete that and I'll be right back. Next, I am adding ribbon into the creases of my castings just to clean it up a little bit and to give it a more polished look. Next, I'm going to add ribbon along the seams of the first and second level and the second and third level. I hope that makes sense, but take a look at what I'm doing. All completed with the ribbon, and you can see what I did there. It looks more finished. I'm going to add the boxes all in and then we're going to work on decorating them with the numbers. We're back and I've added my knobs on my drawers and I've added my numbers and a bit of decorations. Now I'm cutting down this stem because I want to make it into more of a little tree that's a bit shorter. So that's what I'm doing there. I'm wrapping the tree with some crafting wire. Here I'm using some little craft blocks from the dollar store to make a platform so I can set my ornaments at different heights. Next, I'm setting my ornaments on the different platforms to see where I want them and how I like them set up in the different places. Then I'm going to take those off and glue my platforms into the spots. Next, I took this snow fabric from the dollar store. I don't remember what it's called. And I'm just gluing that down. And I'm going to glue 2 layers down because as you can see there, it's quite see-through. Next, I'm working on gluing that second layer down. And as you can see, it looks a lot better. After, I'm gonna trim the excess off and then we'll work on decorating our advent calendar. Now it's my favorite part. Let's decorate this calendar. I made a base for the tree we made so it can sit nicely onto the foam board. Now I'm making a hole so that I can stick that right to the foam board. I'm going to go finish set up our ornaments and I'll be right back. I'm adding lights, those fairy lights, to this advent calendar because I really want it to sparkle and shine. So I'm adding the lights all around the edge and then I'm going to work it in the center of the calendar and the up some of the trees just to give it a little extra something. So here I'm showing you that I use Epsom salts to give it a little bit more sparkle. But to get that full snow look I took the fabric and I rip it apart, not cut it, you must rip it apart so it has that fluffy look to it. And then I just stuck it on there with hot glue, covering any of the wooden pieces that I use like for the tree, and also really filling it, like filling the reindeers and some of the church and stuff, so it has that deep snow look. Now let's take a look at how it all turned out. thank you so much for sticking around and watching that DIY of the advent calendars. I hope I've inspired you to try at least one of them. Please leave a comment below and tell me which one was your favorite. If you enjoy that video, please give me a thumbs up. This is a new channel and it would really help my channel if you would give me a thumbs up, comment below, and definitely subscribe. And hit the bell beside that subscribe button that you can be notified every time I upload a video. Bye guys.